Okay, so if your spiritual vision opens up in your born again experience, what you will see is this is okay. Let me put it clearly. This is Christ. This is people who he connect to him. Okay, like branches. Okay, so for instance, this person is baptized by Christ directly, and this person also directly, and these people, for instance, were kind of baptized through that person. Okay, for instance, and this is just an interconnection, communication, the path of communication with grace between people. And this is the tree of God, okay? And people, they work on earth, being connected with this tree, okay, in on different levels. And the closer you are, the more infusion of the juices of this tree, so to speak, you say, you have, the grace, the more protection you have. And what is Satan? What is Satan? Satan is a, that parasitic fungus, like it's not a kind of, you can say it's a tree of knowing good and evil, but it's just an evil tree, okay? Like a parasitic tree. For instance, you say there is a sequoia growing, okay, and Eliana, that parasitic weaving, tree, that crawling tree that latches onto a noble tree, onto a good tree, and sucks its blood. That's what Satan is. His effector end, like close to the physical, is like fungus. It's like fungus, for instance. Why in the Old Testament the things that were considered defiled by sins, like the sins of a person, for instance, allowed the that fungus that Satan kind of damage the afflict the environment. First, the house of a person gets afflicted, okay? It gets mold, okay? That's how it was in the Old Testament with the Jewish people, okay? So it gets moldy, and if there were some procedures, and if the mold, the fungus doesn't disappear, the building had to be kind of destroyed, okay, to the ground. So the tree of it wasn't a tree of good and evil. Well, Bible knows better, I know, but technically, what I understand, it's a tree of evil, and God Himself knew this, that there is stuff, some spiritual stuff that can affect physical man, okay, not like not God Himself, but the physical man, manifestation of God on earth, okay, His suits, so to speak, okay. The physical men can be afflicted, and they know harm. They start to get signals of acting, of behaving from that fungus, which the more you comply, the more it penetrates your system, the more it gets you diseased, the more it gets you infected, okay? So that's how it is said that a person started to know good and evil. And if God, as it is said, created this stuff, okay, it's a rejected stuff, fallen away, and in order to survive, it became parasitic. Those things became parasitic, and they kind of live in their shadow space, etheric space, and they breed like fungus. They kind of, copulate. Those are, what we call demons. And the question is, why Satan wouldn't destroy those? Why doesn't he? And apparently there are still some people who doesn't know Christ, who are controlled by this entity, okay? And if God destroys the fungus, it will be like a killing of a man. That's the best reasoning I can offer, because the man doesn't know the alternative. He hasn't seen the source yet. That's the best reasoning I can offer, because if that's not the case, if you think logically, to oppose this reason, when God melts down, burns off the fungus from the human, even if he baptizes him by fire, so to speak, he gives by that fire and spirit a new person, instills a new person into the body. Okay, so there is a difficulty. Okay, I can tell you. I can explain why God is not destroying Satan like this, and I, at the same time, find it difficult to kind of recognize that that's the case. That's how it is. Okay. So, and this fungus, it tries to, all it wants to eat. Okay. It tries to weave like a liana around, get into the head, into the system, through the person's mind, if he is not covered with grace. Sometimes it's already in the lineage, in that branch, okay? And you will see in the born again experience that it tries to come back like this, come through another way, okay? You remember that Christ said that the good shepherd comes through the main door, and the thief comes the other way. That's what he was talking about, okay? He was talking about our true spiritual source, how it comes to our hearts and our spirits. And he was talking about the parasitic entity, how it affects. Well, but sometimes, it's already in the system, and you see it like a snake trying to kind of penetrate, to get into your branch, okay? But the fire of grace won't allow it, and you will have to say no, okay? And say no in this condition, when you feel with grace, burns it off completely, okay? And it closes this door, or at least it burns this kind of end, and it never can latch into you again. The first thing, and the only necessary thing that you must know to do so, that you are allowed, and not only allowed, but must requested, instructed to do so, okay? So you must burn these things off so it doesn't listen to you. Okay. So again, because since it is coming from this and from this, and God certainly delivers you and justifies you at the same time, you will get questions I mentioned in previous video, like, why is it happening? Why is God attacking me while justifying me inside? Okay, because it's not God attacking you, it's this entity attacking you. Okay, and it wants its food. Okay, and the reason why in the like Jewish sources, contemporary Jewish sources, and like Old Testament and interpretation all by the Old Testament by the Jews, they say God allows this to happen for a person to affirm that he to kick out this stuff. Okay, so the the human being, the physical man, appropriates this kingly status of what Christ said in the New Testament of trampling onto the serpents and scorpions. Okay, to dismantle and to put down any spiritual entities that try to afflict a person, to attack a person, to influence in any way. And from, okay, so that's what it is. So we grow on one tree and another tree, quote unquote, fungus, try to eat us alive. That's what it is. And honestly, well, I'm not sure that I'm right. I must be wrong, because so many people interpreted it before me. Okay, but my suggestion that it's just simple as that. Okay, that we grow on one tree and that stuff became parasitic. That's it. And we have to burn off those extremities, those ends that used to latch onto us, and be, open only to our source. That's it. And this is just like in nature. This is a parasite. This is our natural predator, or like unnatural predator, because it's demonic, or what we call. Okay, like Hydra, like they depicted Hydra being cut heads from and by Hercules, and the the ends of it being burned, so no more heads grow. I think this mythology talks about this stuff. That's it. This real existing stuff. That's what I think. So, and all those reasons, all those contemplation that those thoughts, why it is going like this and why it is going like this, because God wanted this and all those reasons in our brain, like because God wanted to bring us into perfection and understanding what is good and what is evil. Well, God is good by himself. He doesn't need evil to teach us what bad is. Okay, Adam was just an undisciplined child who, you know, but we cannot say that the infection was needed to teach us what health is. Okay? And this phrase I remade and stole and remade right now from Saint John Chrysostom. He says that it cannot be, because in this case we claim that sin became our teacher of wisdom, and it's wrong. Only God teaches wisdom. And so the reasoning behind rabbis' interpretations that and not only rabbis who talk about this morality, which were, like, as I understand, rejected by Christ altogether. He came and just said that Satan is an infection. He must be kicked out of human presence. Okay, he kind of being kicked away from the world. Okay, so the reasoning behind those legalistic interpretation that God is a, you know, unaffected mind, and you know, he had purpose for everything. Okay, and there must be reason for everything that happens, and this might or even must be the true. No, might be the true. Okay, if I actually took this position, it might be the true, but there's still a chance. This is just our moralization, interpretation, and this interpretation comes goes not further in value, or maybe a little further in value than mythology. Okay, just a construct, like a logical brain function, but it looks like these physical bodies and physical presence. It's how God reveals himself on earth. Okay, well, it's not him, but it's how he flows on earth. It's how he lives on earth. Okay, in these branches. Okay, and for some reason there is a parasite to that tree that cannot parasitize on God himself, but can parasitize on those material and thin matter branches. Okay, so that's it.